Right, welcome to the Karadzic Sports Complex in Yerevan. A couple of days ago, rest day yesterday for all of those fighters who made it this far. Much needed rest day as well. Referee the two fighters to the centre of ring to touch gloves. Now we have our two competitors. AKHMADALIEV, 18 years old, BORNEA 17. Gloves. Pressing head guards, as always. High scoring judges around ringside, far on 5-2 rather on the far side, 1 on the other 3 sides. Scored the shot, throw, high the hand obviously. Knuckle part of the glove makes contact with the frontal side of the face, the upper body above the belt. It's got to be a clean punch. Blocked reflective shots, count out a neat left hand there. AKHMADALIEV. It's been a busy start to the round for both of these two. AKHMADALIEV fighting out of that southpaw stance. In fact, we've got 2 southpaws in there. Nice combination there from BORNEA. Beat England's National Elite champion Jack Bates in 16-12 in the last round. That was a good win for him. Trying to work the body with the left hand there, AKHMADALIEV. This category, the lightest category out of the 10. Both missing with rather wild left hands. Of course, the tendency in amateur boxing is for the boxers to look for the single scoring shot. The referee just not issuing a warning, that's far more serious, but just, I think, indicating that the punches need to be kept up a little bit. Trying to come in behind that jab. He switched to an orthodox stance now, JADE BORNEA, so he does like to switch a little bit. That's a good right hand from BORNEA though. That looked clean to me. And another good right hand, although that's a good riposte as well from AKHMADALIEV. The right hand seemed to make contact with the side of the head. AKHMADALIEV trying to walk him down a little bit and keep BORNEA on the back foot. Just touching out that jab to gauge the range there from the man from the Philippines. Boxing really has become enormously popular there in recent years, and we all know the reason why. Certain Manny Pacquiao as the bell goes for the end of the first round. Busy, a lot of action from both fighters there. And it scored 6-5 to BORNEA at the end of round 1. 5 judges ringside who will all score each round, giving a score to each fighter. And the way it works is that 3 scores for each fighter from each judge out of the 5 will be selected. And the 3 that are selected are the 3 that are closest to each other. So if a judge scores an 8, a 7, a 7, a 7 and a 6, then the 3 7s will be taken, totaling 21 divided by 3, and that's how you get a score of 7 for the round. Some good action there from both men. It's not always quite that straightforward, of course. If the judges' scores are 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, then it's the 4, the 5 and the 6 that will be taken into account. It's not as complex a system as some people like to make out. And these two really going for it now, toe to toe. AKHMADALIEV just bending at the waist a little bit and coming in head first. He's not really looking where he's throwing these, and he's being picked off by BORNEA, who looks a good operator, light on his feet. Stings in with that southpaw jab and then gets out of range before AKHMADALIEV really can do anything about it. Does have that 1-point advantage after the opening 3 minutes. 3 3-minute rounds in these contests, of course. He never stops coming forward, AKHMADALIEV, but again throws another left hand, and he just drops his head a little bit and takes his eye off what's happening in front of him when he does throw that punch. BORNEA is a little bit cuter, and that's a good right hand again, in and out. Stings him and then gets out of range, but it's a good reply from AKHMADALIEV, who is always coming forward. He does throw a lot of punches. He leaves himself a little bit open at times, but he's managing to score himself. Constant pressure on BORNEA. He will draw inspiration, no doubt, from the likes of Manny Pacquiao, also Nonito Donaire. Pacquiao, of course, went through the weights, right from flyweight all the way up through welterweight to light middleweight at times. He's fighting Juan Manuel Marquez in the 4th match of their series. Nonito Donaire in action a week on Saturday against Jorge Arce. Super bantamweight level. Those two really flying the flag for the Philippines. Both fighters landing there. AKHMADALIEV was caught with the punches. He was on the way in. But this has been a good opening bout. And again, Uzbekistani tags him with an overhand left. Oh, and he staggered there, BORNEA. That was a good right hand from AKHMADALIEV. And now can he pour on the pressure and try and take advantage? Hurting an opponent like that looks good, and psychologically it'll do a lot for him. It will still, though, just score the single point. There's not even an extra point for a knockdown or a standing 8 count, and he's in a bit of trouble here, BORNEA. He was caught by 2 or 3 punches there again, but comes out of the neutral corner with one of his own. A lot of effort put in by those two, and Uzbekistan have opened up a big, big lead now. That's a whopping score of 13-6 in the 2nd round for AKHMADALIEV. And it's the pressure he applies more than anything else. His technique is a little bit ragged at times, but he does come forward constantly and throws a lot of punches. BORNEA managed to stay away from those salvos in the opening 3 minutes, but he didn't manage to do so in the 2nd. He is giving age away in this fight, which at the age these fighters are can make a difference. The way the rules are structured, there can never be too much of a gap. Fighters born in 1994, 1995 qualify. Into the 3rd and final round, and BORNEA really has got a lot of work to do here. (18-12) down. He's just got to let his hands go. But he's got to stay out of the way as well. It's a tall order, but having said that, he shaded the 1st round, and then AKHMADALIEV ran away with the 2nd, so it can be done. Whoever wins this will go on to fight the gold medal bout against the winner of the next fight we'll see between Lalitha Polipali of India and Bin Ulf of China. Whoever loses this is guaranteed a bronze medal as well. And that was another good punch, a left hand coming in from Akhmadaliev. He does have that curious habit of really dropping his head as he throws these shots. Trying to jump in with the jab, BORNEA, and then hit with the left hand. But the problem he's got is that because he has to force the pace here and try and force the issue, he is getting counter-punched. Akhmadaliev managed it again there, although he caught a nice right hand from BORNEA. But he doesn't really seem to have the power to discourage Akhmadaliev. And a little bit of work to be done on the belt. Just making sure that the vest is tucked in. Strict rules in AIBA competitions. Nice left hand to the body. Should have scored for Akhmadaliev, then looks to cover up. And a good right hand as well. There wasn't all that much force behind it, but it made contact straight through the guard of BORNEA. BORNEA, the only fighter from the Philippines left in the competition. 23 countries represented in the semi-finals. Really a global event. 71 countries represented in total, from Uzbekistan, as we're watching here, to Australia, from the Philippines, as we're watching here as well, to Scotland. And from all over today, as we head into the last minute now of this third and final round between these two. And this has been, as I said, an entertaining start to the day's competition. It's not been cagey in the slightest. These have both come here to fight right from the first bell. And another left hand from Akhmadaliev just gets through. He tries to reply with a right of his own, BORNEA, but he knows that he's chasing not a lost cause, because this is down to how it's been judged. But a 6-point advantage going into the third round is a big divide to cross. As the bell goes at the end of the third round, the fighters go back to their respective corners. A lot of effort put in there, certainly. He's a bit wild at times, Akhmadaliev, but at the same time, as I said, he's a pressure fighter. He comes forward, he keeps that guard nice and tight, nice and high, lets his punches go. Now we just wait for the decision. He's confident. The judges and the referee cannot see the scores as the bout is ongoing. The corners can. And they will know what kind of a lead their man had going into the final round.
The winner is in the red corner, Uzbekistan.
And in the end, it's by a margin of 24 points to 15. So he took the final round as well, 6-3. And that sees Akhmadaliev go into tomorrow's final at light flyweight.